this is where it happened. Two guys were murdered on this spot.
Their heads were cut off so cleanly. The tubes, they weren't crushed at all. They were wide open.
The one night of the year, Halloween.
Is that your buddy or something?
Hi, this is Brandon Ford.
And this is Tony the Tiger, the Thunder from Down Under.
Guess what, Tony?
Well, I was expecting you to say in the beginning, that's why I had such a pause. But tell me, what is it, Brandon?
It's Halloween.
Oh, yes, it is.
Are you super excited?
I am. I always like Halloween. Well, I'm liking Halloween more now as an adult than I just did as a child because we didn't really have celebrations when I was younger.
No.
No.
Why not?
Well, it wasn't that popular in Australia.
Oh, that's right. That's true. I always forget that.
It's
well,
really
Halloween
become this generation's thing. So
yes, I've heard from my friend Lizzie. She has told me that it's becoming more and more popular as the years go on. So that's good.
It's marketed.
But yes, you have to get some marketing. But you have the Halloween movies down there.
Yeah,
right?
well, we know what it is, and I just always remember as a child, my cousin got me to dress up in a hooded jacket, and I went to a few houses and nobody had anything because they didn't expect anyone to come. So I was the random child that would come out for Halloween, and then I never.
So did you egg their house?
Hmm?
Did you egg the house?
No, we toilet.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Don't you know that?
In America.
In America, yes.
In you pagan states.
Yes. I think Halloween is most prominent in America, although it is in other countries. It exists in other countries.
I feel like it originated in Ireland or something.
I believe it did. Something like that.
Yeah.
But Ireland is not as well populated, and everything's kind of spread out, so it's kind of different.
Yeah.
But it is a pagan.
Irish New Yorkers carried it with them.
It is a pagan holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Although with the Christian element, they do have. It is All Souls Day as well.
Yes.
And then tomorrow is All Saints Day.
Yes, that's true. And as a fallen Catholic, that means nothing to me. Mm-mm.
Well, I used to love their song Black Coffee.
Oh. I used to love Never Ever. I did.
Oh. That one grew to like later, far after the fact.
That was their only hit here.
No, they did that one with William the Beach.
That was their only hit. I used to have the CD single for that one.
And they're still going, I reckon. They outlasted the Spice Girls.
Well, I heard that the Spice Girls are still very popular in the UK.
Well, I imagine people still listen to their songs, but I don't think that there's anything new about them.
No,
They're
no, but
Old Spice.
they are still they are beloved.
Yeah.
They are British royalty.
Well, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Did you want to do your plugs?
Oh yes, I do. Thank you so much. So, I would like to encourage all of you Halloweeners out there to check out my books because they're very, very spooky and they're very Halloween appropriate. And lots of people get stabbed and things, and it's very, very scary. And you could ask Tony, or you can't because he's never read a single one of them.
I've read more than a single.
I'm just waiting for the day that you surprise me when I say, so Tony, what have you been watching lately? And you say, well, I just read a Brandon Ford book. And I'll go, oh, but that's never going to happen. So yes, I write scary books that are Halloween appropriate, and you can find them in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle editions on Amazon.com by typing in Brandon Ford, and you'll also find my author page, which you can subscribe to in order to receive email notifications whenever I have a new release. I also have several books available in audiobook format, and even in audiobook format, they're super scary. So scary, you'll wet your pants. That's when you were supposed to say too late.
No, I was thinking of the sex thing that you wrote where I did more than wet my pants.
Oh. All right. That was a Simpsons reference, by the way.
Yeah, that's true, yes. Wait, I can see my voice. This is my voice on TV.
You had to interrupt my plugs for that. Anyway, what did I say? Audible,
Yes.
super scary audiobooks.
You got your
Type
own
in
Facebook
Brandon
page
Ford.
now for it?
For what?
The podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't get there yet.
okay.
Jesus.
I'm running too far ahead of you.
Yes. Don't jump the gun.
Okay, I'll just sit listen to.
So, yes, I'm also on Twitter as well as Letterboxd at Brandon Ford. Tony is also on Letterboxd at Tony_the_bear. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions, recommendations, I would really love it if someone would say or like to send us a list of movies they would like us to do commentaries for. That would be super interesting because I would like to see if anybody out there has the exact same taste as me. So if you think that there are movies out there I might like or Tony might like, feel free to send us a list and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. And yes, the Blind Rage podcast does have an official Facebook page. So, oh wait, did I give my email address? No, I didn't. You can email me your lists at blindragepod81@gmail.com. And you can visit the official Blind Rage podcast Facebook page to like and subscribe. And lastly, and most importantly, see, I got Halloween on the brain, so I'm a little frazzled. I'm super excited. I'm like a little boy with his like little chicken
Your
costume
nipples
on.
are out in force.
Yes, they are. They're bling blinging. Fucking, what was I saying? Yes, last and most importantly, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Blind Rage podcast on your preferred podcasting platform. See, it is kind of hard to sit still or sit comfortably with this costume on, you know?
Especially when you're wearing satin, you're like sliding around all over the place.
Yes, it's true. Yes, that's right. I'm dressed as Hugh Hefner.
Now, I don't know. I will mention this, even though we didn't discuss this off air before. You don't mind having other co-hosts come and join you. So if you feel that you'd like to join us, let us know that as well.
That is true. That is an excellent point, Tony. Yes. If you would like to join us, yes. But we have to get to know you a little bit better
Yeah.
first. We're not going to just put you on. We don't do that here. We have standards and practices that we have to abide by because the FCC will be down our throat like
We
that.
won't mean girls you with a three-way conversation.
No, that was the
It was like, so what do you think of Brand?
three-way call
Do you
attack.
think it's a bit?
Oh God, but I can't believe they did that in that movie because that is so something that I did when I was like in fourth fucking grade in the early 90s. And nobody would ever fall for it. I think I might have fallen for it maybe once, but you could always tell what was happening because let's say
It felt scripted.
let's say person A is Jim and person B is Chris, and you don't know Chris is on the phone, and Jim would be like, "So what's going on? Nothing. You know who I can't stand? Chris. Doesn't he annoy you? Yeah." And then he'd be like, and then like 9 out of 10 times, the person who was supposed to be ambushed would be like, "Yeah, hi, Chris."
Yeah.
Um,
It's like when kids try to hide something and they're giving you hints like, well, I don't know where it is, but don't look behind the couch.
yes, that's exactly what it's like.
It's like, oh, so that's where it is.
So, before we get started on our movie, which I haven't even disclosed yet, we are doing.
You're hell-bent on not disclosing it.
Yes, I am. Well, for obvious reasons. This is a fucking mess. The 2004 gay slasher, Hellbent, that does not have a single gay cast member. I like them nipples. So, yeah, before we get into this...
Of its time.
Yeah, very of its time. It was actually shot in 2002.
Oh.
So before we get into that, what have you been watching as of late? Anything spooky for Halloween?
Well, a movie that I've never seen that I ended up watching, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I've never seen that either.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but in the end, I thought it was quite a nice, a good horror comedy.
Yes, I know it has a huge cult following, but I'm really not a fan of zombies.
Yeah, I think that's how I became. There are some zombie movies that I like, but as a whole, it's not really a genre I gravitate towards. But this one I quite liked. And the other movie that I watched is a political thriller called The Interpreter, which had a good setup. The middle of the movie wasn't great, and the ending wasn't even that great, but it was... I still didn't mind watching it. I won't watch it again, but I think I gave it 3 stars or something. And have you ever heard of that one?
I have.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
And have you watched anything?
Well,
noteworthy.
Well, I wouldn't say it's noteworthy, but there's a 3-part documentary series on Tubi called Time Warp. I think it's called Time Warp: the greatest cult films of all time or something.
Okay.
And it's broken up into 3 parts or 3 volumes, and they're all approximately 2 hours. And one of them, I think it's the first one, focuses on midnight movies. The second one focuses on horror and sci-fi. And the third focuses on comedy and camp.
Okay.
So I watched the horror and sci-fi one, and I really, I mean, I really wasn't.
Educated?
It was just a bunch of talking heads.
Yeah.
Saying how much they love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like, okay, yeah, I've seen that one. What else you got? And it's like another one. Oh, we love Evil Dead. Yeah, I know. I love it too. I've seen that movie. There's nothing that I haven't heard here.
Yeah, there's a reason these movies became cult classics. Now tell us past the fandom, like something interesting about it.
Yes, it was like, something you would think that there would be. John Waters was in it for like a second.
Yeah.
And I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is his favorite horror film of all time.
Really? Okay.
But I generally don't associate John Waters with horror. However, he does love Herschel Gordon Lewis, although I don't really consider Herschel Gordon Lewis to be horror because it's so cheesy and stupid. But so there's that, and I really, and other than that, I don't really know who the other talking heads were, but they didn't really offer anything other than fandom for the movies, and the movies really weren't, the selections weren't anything groundbreaking. So
it almost sounds like when someone posts a picture of a movie and then just the comments of like, oh, I love that movie. You might as well just read a Facebook notification.
Yeah, I'm no stranger to that. So other than that, no, I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Oh, you know what I did do? I don't know if I told you this already, but I revisited that audiobook I told you about that I read about 1.5 years ago called, I always forget what it's called because I mess up the title because it's kind of clunky and I don't like it. But it's called, I think it's called True Porn Clerk Stories. And it's an essay about a woman who worked in a video store that had a very strange clientele who rented pornography.
Did she used to play Aqua CDs, or was that someone else?
Yes, that's the one. Yes. Yes, she used to play Aquarium. That was her favorite. And then she just about lost her shit when she found that Aqua had a second album in the bargain bin. And then she started playing Aquarius all the time, and it drove her coworkers nuts.
Yeah.
But
they weren't happy boys and girls?
They were not. But she said that was her favorite record to play when she opened because of Happy Boys and Girls, because she would be so miserable and there would be a song commanding her to be happy.
Yes.
So
come on in Logan. I couldn't remember the lyrics and I just drifted off.
Come on, let's go get it on.
Yes,
thank you. Yes. And
it's such a contrast to working in an adult bookshop.
Well, it's not. It wasn't. It was a. It's just a video store.
Yeah, a video shop.
It was a video store that had a chain in. It was in Chicago. It was like a. It wasn't a big corporate store. But there would be stories about people pleasuring themselves while they looked at videos and things like that, and it's at the boxes. I don't know.
If you can pleasure yourselves over a Victoria's Secret catalogue, then these are even more raunchy,
Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. But there would be stories about customers who would rent like 6 a day.
Oh, okay.
But the worst were the stories about the customers who would return. Well, this was written, I think, I ascertained that it was written in probably 2001 or 2002 because she says that she talks about Zoolander being a new release. But it was published in '09 originally. But so yeah, so there were that was around the time they were still renting VHS, and customers would return VHS and DVD with seminal fluids
Biology.
on them. Seminal fluids or lubricant residue
Oh, yeah.
on them. And they would insist that that's how the
how it came,
movie
so to
was when they got it. Or that it wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
So,
You could prove it.
yeah, you could. But she would assure them that everything is checked before it is checked out, and they would not rent anything that had such stains on it. So if somebody would come to the counter with a tape that had objectionable stains on it, they would just hand them the surface cleaner and the paper towels and tell them to clean it.
Yeah.
And she said that she and the other employees would go through hand sanitizer like there was no tomorrow.
I feel like, you know how there's that Be Kind Rewind? They needed to do like a wipe it off, jerk it off. Come be gone.
Oh, that was actually clever. So, okay. But speaking of things that are clever, we should probably get into the movie. That was an oxymoron.
Is that, are you being ironic?
I am, yeah. Yeah.
Like Mrs. Tingle.
Hellbent is really not available many places.
Anywhere, yeah. Actually, I think you might be able to rent it over YouTube. You know how you can...
Yes, I think you can.
Yeah,
I think you can. But I also think that you can... Somebody uploaded a version that has Spanish subtitles.
Oh, okay.
So if it's still there, I think it's called Halloween Sangria.
Oh.
Spain. I think that's the Spanish title. So yeah. All right. Okay. So we are going to get started with Hellbent with a 3 count. Let me just make sure I have my movie pulled up here. All right. Here we go.
Wait a minute. Give me a second.
Oh. I'm usually the one who fucks this part up. You mean you didn't have the movie loaded and ready to go?
No, I do, but it's just not playing anything.
Oh, no. Now you broke the file?
No. All right, let's just reopen you again.
Oh, God. See, all this you could have been doing. Oh, no.
Sing Happy Boys and Girls to me.
No. Well, now it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, me too.
But it's okay, because it's a good song.
Yes.
Do you have Aqua's records? Either? Well, no, they have others besides Aquarium and Aquarius, but they're really not worth listening to.
Well, I told you how I tried listening to one of them. They
did a benefit song?
Yes, for Danish Pride, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah, Aquarius is really when it was over.
Yeah.
They did a greatest hits in like 2008. I love when people who have 2 records do a greatest hits. That's always hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Granted, they both Aquarium and Aquarius had like 6 singles apiece, 6 or 7 approximately, almost the whole album. But they did it. They had a new song on there called "Back to the '80s," which was wretched.
Yeah.
And then they recorded another album in I think 2011 called "Megalomania," that was missing one of the members. And in one of the songs, our female lead begs the question, why do you still fuck me like a robot?
Oh my God.
Yes, I was scandalized.
Yes.
Are we ready?
Just about. I did not know what's happened with it.
Oh God! See, Mike is going to kill me now.
Well, it's a short movie, so
you're ruining Halloween. You do realize that? Do you realize you're ruining Halloween?
Yes.
I have trick-or-treaters to tend to, okay?
All right, I'll just do it like this.
Do it like what? That means you're not going to watch the movie.
No, I will. Okay, I'm ready to go.
You're not going to watch the movie now. I'm going to be watching this garbage by myself.
No.
If I have to suffer, I'm not going to suffer alone. You do realize that.
I've got it, but I'm just playing it through a different program.
Oh, God. What is the problem with VLC?
It's just not opening it.
You know what? It might be the problem. Windows 11. Windows 11 is evil. I don't like it at all.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with 10. Okay, all right.
Let's get this party started.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. I don't know why, but the movie just like immediately, the file immediately just bang out of the gate with the fucking
with the
logo.
Orchestral score.
Now, I have to say that this, well, after this, because I revisited this today.
Yeah.
In preparation for the podcast, and it was the first time I'd seen this movie in a long time because, to be perfectly honest, I don't like it. And this was actually going to be my go-to Halloween movie last year, but then we did The Room, which is far more terrifying.
Yes.
Far more terrifying than Hellbent could ever hope to be. But when I was watching this scene in particular, you know exactly what I was waiting for, right?
What were you waiting for? A jump scare?
I was waiting for this isn't funny.
Oh, God.
But this whole scenario that we have going on here with the gay couple who are getting into a little heavy petting, and they can't get into the back seat because the back seat is filled with balloons that one of them is bringing to his mother for Halloween. What?
Yeah.
Where does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's not a thing. People don't do that.
Oh God, I was going to say something. But what I was going to, something that I thought during the scene is that when he puts his body out the car, why not put the balloons out and wind up the window so that they don't go away?
And why didn't the one who is filleting not notice that the window had broken when his head got cut off? He just thought he was being.
He did notice that it broke.
He thought he was ticklish.
Him really.
But even if that's what he believed, wouldn't that be like a problem? It's like, oh shit,
yeah,
we should probably do something about this broken window before we get our dicks cut off on shards of glass. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be having sex in a car seat that is speckled with broken glass dust.
Yeah. It's hard enough walking on broken glass.
It's true, Annie Lennox. Now, this is a movie. in which the killer has absolutely no motive whatsoever.
No. And
And
then it becomes a bit fetishistic later. Like, weirdly fetishy.
Yes.
He would have loved Columbo.
And you don't know who he is, you don't know where he came from, but his whole deal is he's just menacing
And killing. Yeah.
Well, the whole story is basically a bunch of group men are stalked and killed at a West Hollywood carnival. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no ABC storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing, and
The song was wretched.
yes, when he doesn't kill the drag queen, until he sees that it's a guy or something. It's obviously a guy, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't
what's
get.
happening
I
there.
don't get what that was supposed to be.
yeah. See, that to me, and I know that we're jumping though, but I'm going to just talk about it now.
Yes.
I thought that character, the drag queen, was so pathetic in that moment that is chasing after someone who is showing no interest, out of needing some affection. And it just, like, I was thinking, is that sort of the point of this movie? Because a lot of them get killed sort of coytly.
Yes. Well, the thing too that doesn't make any sense about that particular scene is up until that point, that character is very, very confident and
Yeah.
sort of feels like he can get anybody he wants.
Yeah.
And even when he shows him the driver's license, he's like, not bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is not somebody who doesn't have any self-esteem who needs to go begging for sex.
No, it seemed like there was one person, and it wasn't even a rejection, but, when he got someone to take his photo and then they just walked off. That was sort of the only blow to his ego, if anything. I really don't know why he was chasing after this guy who they thought was a threat at one stage.
No, I don't know. And I don't know exactly what we have here, the protagonist, the main protagonist, Eddie, what his
James
deal
Marsden
is.
look-alike.
Because he does not work at the police station, but I guess his sister evidently does. And he failed the policeman's exam because he had an accident in which he lost an eye.
Okay.
So their father was a policeman,
Yeah.
and he wanted to follow in father's footsteps, but he couldn't. So he just spends his days hanging out at the police precinct. What is this? I don't understand.
Well, he was
And
doing
looking
something
at
behind
crime,
the counter. I mean,
yeah, he's
behind
looking
the
at crime,
computer.
looking at crime photos and shit. Like, why?
Yeah.
And this part made me laugh out loud too when whoever this guy is, the sergeant or commissioner, whoever,
The one who
brings
looks
him
like
in
any
and
other.
well, he says there was a murder, two homosexuals. Did you know them? Like, we all know each other.
Yeah.
Our community liaison asked us to help get these out around the neighborhood.
In West Hollywood.
In West Hollywood,
like-
yeah.
I wouldn't normally ask you to do this, but everyone's tied up with the carnival.
Yeah. So, well, there he's saying that he works there in some capacity.
I don't, but they don't know. Say what he does. What does he do?
No. It's almost like it's a civilian contractor or something. Like,
So yeah, the screenwriter for this had never written a screenplay before,
and still.
and was not familiar or at all versed in the slasher genre. So, according to Wikipedia, I believe all this is true because I remember this because this was around the time when, because of the success of Blair Witch, the internet was very, very a useful tool for people to use to hype independent films.
Yeah.
So they would leak information to the horror websites and get people amped up in advance. And this was one of those movies. And in particular with the title, because they didn't have a title. And I do remember the director being on a message board that I was on, asking people for their suggestions. I do remember that.
Okay.
I didn't have anything.
Do you remember the message group?
It was the Arrow in the Head message board.
Oh, yeah.
Arrow in the Head's still around. I don't know if the message board still is.
I used to be on the Project Greenlight message board a lot when it was first started.
Arrow in the Head I used to be on all the time. Are we about to see Provolone?
Oh yeah, with that same voice. I just thought that was his character.
Yeah,
choice.
it's the exact same character. This is him pretty much playing himself.
Yeah. I didn't realize until I saw him in this how much he looked like someone I went to school with. And I was like, oh.
I think you said that during Psycho Beach Party.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did.
I could be wrong, but
And he's now a sports newscaster.
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe.
well, he is.
Okay, well, I was going to say that the screenwriter went and watched as many 80s slasher movies as he could in preparation for penning the screenplay. And he said that he followed the tropes very specifically. And came up with all of the standard slasher movie characters, except made them gay men. I don't see that at all.
Okay.
I don't really see anything different. Anything that differentiates any of the characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm only sort of thinking of Cabin in the Woods to try to differentiate different characters. And I don't see any of those tropes, really. Like where you have the virgin or the jock, the nerd, the
slut.
fool. Yeah, the slut.
The idiot, yeah. The brain. These are just all horny guys who want to get laid on Halloween.
Or at the very least, he didn't define them enough. Like
No, they had no...
Yeah.
The only one who had any backstory is Eddie.
Yeah.
And when that's revealed, it's kind of comes across as inauthentic because he just spews it out of nowhere to a random guy at a bar.
That is a one-eye monster.
Well, he doesn't tell him about that he's got a glass eye right away. He just says he has an accident, and he's like, I can't be on the police force, and blah, blah, blah. And he's saying this to this guy, random person, like, trying to pick him up. What? No, you don't do that. So, yes, and then also, there was all the hype that the director was, putting at himself, I think, that this was the first gay slasher.
Yeah.
And it is not.
No. Well, that was pre-like Wikipedia. Before people could use the internet well.
There's Provolone.
Handing out his baloney.
Yeah, he is exactly Provolone
Yeah.
from Psycho Beach Party.
I think if he had changed the voice, but he just can't seem to get rid of that accent, whether it's put on or not.
I don't know. He doesn't have an Italian name. So, I mean, like, he doesn't come across... I mean, like, he comes across as an East Coast Italian guy in Hollywood for some reason.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, the situation kind of...
Yeah. But with a better looking face.
With a better looking face. And
it doesn't look like a catcher's mitt.
Doesn't look like a catcher's mitt and is a little more likable.
And pays his taxes.
And pays his taxes. That's what we know. Anyway.
Yeah, we're guessing.
We're guessing.
I don't think
So-
he'd make TMZ if he were. We wouldn't find out that he went to prison.
No. Although I remember during the election when Hillary was running against
Bernie? Oh, okay. The other one. Yeah.
TMZ did I got not really a story, but they did a little thing on the show about that at one of Hillary's rallies, they spotted a retired gay porn star by the name of Gavin Waters, who wasn't even really that big or in the industry that long, but they knew exactly who he was, and they had a picture of him with Hillary and decided to put it on TMZ.
Yeah, yeah.
And let me just say, I was quite familiar with Gavin Waters. Oh, yes, I was.
So he was pretty big in the industry.
No, he wasn't.
I meant his member.
Oh, well, yes, that was, yeah. Well, yeah, and he must have had a pretty bad experience or didn't like the industry because he left to go back to Texas to go back to bartending.
Oh, okay. Well, it might just not be what you think it will be. I think
No,
guys
it generally
might enter
isn't.
in it thinking it's going to be
Not that there's anything wrong with bartending, but
a never-ending sex bender, you know.
I think he thought, well, yeah. I think he probably thought that, you know, it was going to be a little more glamorous and he was going to make more money than he actually did.
I feel he might. I kind of feel people probably are making more money with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And I see you two didn't dress for the holiday at all.
Well, I mean, you can get, let's just say I want to be a full-time porn star. Okay.
Aside from other than part-time, is that?
Other than part-time. Well, this is considered full-time. And let's say I get paid $1,500 to, well, it's usually $1,500 to $3,000, depending on what you're willing to do. And let's just say I'm only doing regular vanilla sex, nothing fetishy.
Okay. So,
So I'm getting paid.
Not fisting or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little oral and some anal and some spunk action. So I'm getting $1,500 for just doing one scene. Mm-hmm. But I can only work at most a couple of days a month. Because if you're overexposed, you're out.
Okay.
No, but if you're in the porn industry, the worst thing you can do is A, get old, and B, be overexposed.
Yeah.
So you can only work.
Film a few in a month and then release them over the year?
Well, how they get released is up to the whatever company is paying you.
Yeah.
And, you know, some companies insist upon contract. So you can only work for them, and they'll say, okay, you already worked this month, so we can't hire you.
Yeah.
So you can't even pay your rent. I mean, like, when you think about it, you're making at most maybe $25,000, $30,000 a year.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, if you're only working a few days, you can do other work then. Just stop.
Yes, yes, you have to supplement, and that's why if you're gay porn, you do rent boys.
Yeah, but you can also do legitimate work if you.
You could, but people generally don't because they don't want their coworkers knowing what they're doing, and they generally tend to find out. But yes, if you're gay, you do the rent boys thing. If you're straight, I don't know what the guys in straight porn do. I really don't. But if you're a woman, you strip. Or you do some branding with some products.
company or something, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You do like a Jenna Jameson type thing. Porn isn't really as easy as people think it is.
It's quite hard.
It is rock hard. Believe me, I've watched many a documentary. I know a lot about this.
Yeah, I mean, you blow your wad so quickly.
Yeah, people get used up and thrown out very, very easily.
Yeah. And you can't, you don't get spat out as much as swallowed.
Well, I think I already made this point before because I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this subject in the past, but one of the biggest things that people don't know when they do porn is that they can say no. So they end up, like fresh off the bus from Memphis doing gangbang scenes like with like fucking 3 dicks in their ass.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, and then they're washed up and sent back home with nothing.
So they don't get paid for it.
Well, they get paid, but they just don't get paid that much.
Yeah. Now they don't make a noise when they fart.
No. Well, there was a documentary that was about the famous, it was a pretty big thing that happened in the 90s where there was an HIV scare, and it was bad, so bad that the whole industry was about to get shut down.
Yeah.
But this one girl was from Canada, and she found an agent online, and she got flown to California to do a scene with the company, and it was like one of those rough, crazy scenes with anal, multiple partners, and I think she had double anal penetration.
Okay.
And it was very unpleasant, and she became HIV positive.
Yeah.
So we should probably talk about the movie.
Yes. What I keep getting a bit annoyed by in the movie is how they keep saying 2 gay guys were killed. Like, it almost feels like that's... I don't like that when they do that, because they do that in real life.
No, I don't like that either.
With the murders that happened in Adelaide, how one of the people that got killed, that was quite famous, there's constant rumors that he was gay, even though he was quite young. And I don't like that it kept going on, because it kind of, to me, felt like that was excusing his getting killed. And like, when that becomes like a characteristic of the victim, I just don't like it. No. About it.
Well, no. What somebody's sexual preference is shouldn't have any relevance if it's a murder case.
Yeah.
Because no matter what their sexual preference is...
It'd be like saying a gay body washed ashore this morning. What's that matter?
Yes. Yes, what does that matter? It's like, it shouldn't matter what their sexual preference is, what their race is, whatever. They're still a person.
I will say the only time
it
would matter is if it was a hate crime, in which case, yes,
that's
say that.
True.
Like,
that's true.
There's a lot of transgender hate crimes that happen that are terrible and should stop.
In Adelaide, I thought Adelaide was all peace and love.
No, I see a lot of it in American posts. So.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I knew someone, he got beaten up in drag, but
But it depends on where you are.
Yeah, he was in the rough suburbs, but it still shouldn't have happened. But something that I
No.
found interesting is
No, I'm just saying that it's more likely to happen if you're in certain areas or
yeah.
in certain states.
No, but what I was going to say is that he was doing a competition for like a Mister competition, and he decided to do this story about how he the night earlier got beaten up doing in drag, and then later I was speaking to him, and he was like surprised and almost offended that when he told the story, no one in the audience was shocked by it, and like it to me that showed how the younger generation feels about they haven't had to deal with the social cruelty that older gay people have.
Right.
Whereas everyone else in the room was like, yeah, that we remember that happening all the time. You know, it's like,
Yeah. Or it's like AIDS.
yeah.
He's got a fucking knife, the kinky bastard. You are deranged, sir, and I love it.
I mean, how
This-
scared people were to go out.
Yeah.
Show us that phallic symbol.
You want to see some? Come on, big boy. You want to?
I thought it was a sigh or whatever it was. Isn't that
It is
what
a
he's
sigh,
got?
yeah. It's a
Okay.
sickle type of, yeah.
Like Children of the Corn.
But smaller.
But if that's a phallic symbol, that's very telling.
Oh, I've seen many curve up. And then when he wipes the blood off, it's like getting rid of the brown frown. What's that joke?
Oh God.
What's the difference between a microwave and anal sex?
I don't know.
A microwave won't brown your meat.
I can't.
Trick or treat.
Anyway.
And the whole going through the back garden, the park, it seemed unrealistic. I don't think that those locations are at all connected.
No, I think that they did that because the footage of the carnival was filmed way ahead of time, so they had to try to find some way to make it match.
Yep.
One more person. That's my tits tonight. Hey. Hey, guys. I think he's falling. Devil Daddy knows a good thing when he sees it. Oh, that's fine.
That bloody sound effect every time is there.
That ting.
Yeah,
I mean,
like as if
I
they're
don't
pulling
know
a
why.
knife out of the block. It's
I don't know why they don't think this is weird. That there is this
yeah.
very ominous figure with a very large weapon following you. And
After the two gay guys were killed.
after the two gay guys were beheaded, yes. So they think he wants to, what, have sex with them?
Mm.
You guys get CDs?
I don't.
Glow sticks? Why do they make green condoms? I want to know who sucks a green dick. I got a scratch and
Glow in the dark.
cover.
The Hulk. Jennifer
Yes.
Connelly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to drink? Something with alcohol. Flaming penis? Por favor.
Flaming penis.
Excellent script writing there.
One swallow, you're hooked. One swallow, you're hooked. Hey, Copper.
I don't know. I mean, I remember this was, I mean, like, as was the case at that time when all of these movies were, horror movies, were being overly hyped and all the information about them was being leaked to the websites by the director. And with this one in particular, I had high hopes for because it would be something I'd never seen before, and it would, I thought, be like seeing myself in a slasher movie for once, and no. And not only
You'd
that,
never
I
use
mean,
a
like,
sequel.
no, be ridiculous. But not only that, I mean, like, it just seemed so rushed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just seems like, you know, they had an idea, they thought they were being original, and they had to rush to get it out as soon as possible. Even though that wasn't necessarily the case, because, like I said, this was shot in 2002.
Yeah. See, I find
but-
nothing original about it. The only
No,
thing
I don't
original is
either.
that it's gay characters, you know, it's...
It's a gay ensemble.
Yeah.
No, there isn't anything at all original about it, but that was and wasn't the point. It wanted to follow what they thought were slasher tropes, only with gay characters, but they didn't even really do that with this.
I mean, they don't actually say this isn't funny.
They don't.
No.
Which is really surprising. Because this isn't funny is the most unoriginal thing you can say in a slasher movie.
Yes. Actually, I want to put it into the story that I'm writing, but not at that place. Like, not in a scary moment, just to sort of make fun of it.
You should make the characters go to a comedy club.
Yeah, that's... that would make sense.
And then just be miserable and like, this isn't funny.
This isn't funny. I'm sure I get a few people saying that listening to me.
Or after the comedian delivers his first couple minutes, have somebody say, "Is this a joke?"
And then have him die on stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys.
This isn't
I know, that's
funny
something else.
anymore.
A little. I used to shoot because I wanted to be a cop, but I didn't pass the physical.
Oh, I was
God, his
listening.
delivery here is quite like...
I hurt my eye.
It's cautiously telling the story, but also needing to tell...
Vision is gone. My depth perception is
I don't think anybody is particularly good, even Provolone.
No.
I was listening to Howard, and he had a caller. I don't remember exactly why, but he was talking about he was going to this large orgy that was being held in New York at some establishment where there was going to be 75 men there, and they have a code that I'd never heard before, where obviously, you know, if somebody wants to do something, you have the eye contact thing, but I guess this is for if somebody comes up to you and tries to talk to you. The code, if you're not interested, is you tap them twice.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
I never heard that before.
Well, it does sort of sound... It does... I imagine it like a goodbye tap. But no, I haven't heard of it either. The only code I thought you were going to start talking about the hanky code.
And which one is that?
Have you not heard of the hanky code?
No, I don't go to orgies anymore.
This isn't an orgy specific code, but apparently it's happening also with, you know, those rubber wristbands that people have.
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, well,
Thing.
anyway, I can't remember specifically, but let's say you're fetish is fisting.
and you keep it in your back pocket.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
The color of the hanky is what determines,
Yeah. I wonder where you could get that chart.
I think you can find it online easily.
I'm sure you could.
No, well, I mean, because
you know where all the bars are, Christina.
I should have known you know where the fetishes and boys are.
Yes.
I know that with the leather community, sort of with the leather community, your color of piping along your leatherware can be indicative of what you're into as well.
Yes, you know all about the leather. Yeah. Yes, you do. One day I'm going to find out what's in your closet. Do you have somebody, like, in case, let's just say, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't say, but okay, let's say something happens, and I'm not saying death, let's just say something happens where it is understood that you and Matthew will not be coming home anymore. Do you have somebody to come to your house to remove all of the porn and the toys and the fetish wear? Do you have somebody for that?
No.
Well, you should. You should.
This is such an old conversation. As not between us, but we have actually spoken about it before, where I told you a friend of mine got a lot of porn given to him after people died of HIV, like during the HIV pandemic, because their family didn't know that they were gay. Whereas nowadays, people are a lot more open and accepting of.
Well, it's not that people aren't open and accepting. It's like people don't want their families to see your two-sided dildos.
But I'll be dead, so what's it matter?
I wouldn't. If I owned something along those lines, I'd just say hypothetically.
You want it to self-destruct? Is that what?
Yes, I do.
Connect it to your pulse, and then suddenly a fire happens when you die.
I was never big on things like that.
Toys.
Toys, yes. Objects, accoutrement.
Enchanté.
But I'm not going to say what it is. But
Flashlight.
I'll tell you off mic.
Okay. Can you hint?
I had something.
Yeah.
That I tried, but I didn't like it. And I didn't know what to do with it. So it just stayed in its box in a corner that was not
accessed.
It was not accessible because there was something in front of it. Literally, this just happened, like last week. I was cleaning things out, and I was like, okay, I'm never going to use this. I'm just going to throw it away. So I threw it out, and then the next day, I had I had a one of those big barrels of sourdough pretzels.
I don't know what
you've never seen. Well, you have Target, don't you? Do you know what sourdough pretzels are?
No.
Do you know what? Okay. Well, you know what pretzels are.
Is it just a pretzel made out of sourdough?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, you get them like in big plastic barrels.
Okay.
Because they're kind of big anyway. But okay. So when you get down to the bottom. There's a lot of crumbs and there's a lot of salt. And I, of course, tipped my barrel over and it went every fucking where. And all I had was a hand vacuum that I was trying to clean it up with, and it was not working. So I had to call my father over to help me. And lo and behold, I noticed that he was cleaning the area where that toy was very closely, because apparently that was where a large bit of the crumbs and salt had accumulated.
Yeah.
So he had to, and he had a very difficult time getting it out of there.
Oh, is that
So-
like your first experience with it?
With what?
The toy.
No, I had it for like over a year.
You had a difficult time getting it out of there.
No, I had it for over a year. I tried to use it once. I didn't like it, and I just never bothered with it again. And then the next day, or the day after, I disposed of it. The accident happened. And if I hadn't disposed of it, I would have been found out for the prevert that I truly am.
So it was serendipitous timing.
Yes, that is the point of the story. Yes. That I feel like I'm telling in slow motion because I'm so fucking tired right now.
Although now I'm thinking, like, what if it's so ominous? Like, what if you were to delete your porn and then 2 days after that you die? It's I wonder if the accident happened because you got rid of it.
Well, I wouldn't be all that embarrassed, I don't think, about porn on a hard drive because I'm not into anything weird.
Do you still have the tickle porn on there?
I do.
We're all supposed to go to breakfast tomorrow. I could ditch them if I had a better offer.
Now, I don't exactly know. I don't understand what this means.
What does he say?
He said he was supposed to meet his friends for breakfast. Or no, he
unless
was going to go
wants him
out
spend
with
the
his
night or
friends.
something. Yeah.
No, but he's going to go out with his friends, and then they're going to go to breakfast. So does that mean he's going to ditch them for breakfast? Or
Oh, no, I just
For
thought that he
before.
and the friends were going to go to breakfast. Like, let's say, do the after party. Do the rise
yes.
for breakfast.
Yeah. Well, because that's the way it sounded to me. The way it was delivered, or the way it was written, was, okay, I'm going to... exactly. He says until tomorrow. So that means they're going to meet what, like first thing in the morning? I don't understand. So
Well-
instead of going out for breakfast for the after party
Really
with his
depends
friends...
on how much crystal you've taken.
That's true. But that would be like fucking, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't ring true to me where somebody's saying, okay, so we'll meet at like, what, 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
What,
See, I
what?
took it that he wasn't going to go with his friends to breakfast if he spent the night with him.
No, because he just said, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's, yeah. You know, when I first saw this, I actually wasn't sure if Jake was Mark from Roseanne. And then when I saw him more clear, I was like, oh, no, it's not him.
I think he would have been dead.
Yeah. Was
wait.
he gay
Yeah.
or not?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
He was Irish, though.
He was very Irish, yes.
Going back to our Halloween discussion earlier.
Yes. Yes, he was off the boat from Ireland. He was. He sounded just like Colin Farrell when he talked in his real voice.
Well, that's sweet.
Did you hear that? Oh God. I have to be a little more discerning about the kinds of movies that I choose.
No, I was glad to finally get around to seeing it. I feel it's like part of gay history, even though, yeah. Is the director gay?
I think.
You'd hope someone is gay, you know.
I think
I know it's 2002, but I realize nowadays everyone would be gay in the like every actor.
It'd be nice to find a man who wants me for what's in here.
Yes.
Which is good, like that.
That's good, yes. But I don't know. I mean, it just. Well, for the kind of movie that they thought they were making, this fucking revolutionary slasher fucking subgenre that had never been embraced.
Yeah.
They couldn't find one gay actor or one minority.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
seem to only have gay supporting cast, which
yes
is almost a bigger slap in the face for me.
Yeah,
because it shows that there are gay actors. You know, that they could.
Yes, that's the thing. It wasn't that no gay actors auditioned. It's that the gay actors who did audition were not good enough.
Yeah.
And but there was no minorities auditioned.
Yeah. Shoot.
I mean, this is kind of like
Scream 2.
When that movie Making Love, when like all the script went around to all the like Harrison Ford and fucking Robert Redford, and nobody wanted to play a gay character.
Yeah. It's interesting how it went from that to straight people only playing gay characters, and now it's just gay actors playing gay characters. I think it's sort of come in waves, and I reckon it may come again where straight people playing gay will be not as controversial as it is today. Because, only a few decades ago, it was quite applauded, you know, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, but that was an important movie. That's different. But what really fucking annoys me is when a straight actor is given so many accolades because he was brave enough to kiss another man on screen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, Sean Penn, you are so brave for making out with someone of the same gender, and you did it on camera. Let's give you an Oscar right now.
Well, he was married to Madonna, wasn't he?
He was, and he said that, I remember reading an article when that movie came out, that he said, because I guess he wasn't very gay friendly when they were married, and she was a gay icon. But he said that after he shot the scene in which he did the gay kiss, she was the first person he called.
Oh, okay.
Because he had to tell her, I just kissed a man, huh?
And I liked it.
Okay, 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes.
All the dirty touching all over me.
They're gonna laugh at you.
But I was weak.
That whiskey breath.
And now the devil has come home.
We'll pray. For the last time.
For the last time, we'll pray. Oh,
Lord.
I kind of feel like Piper Laurie in that scene right now because I'm swaying a little bit because I'm so tired.
God. And you're like patting down my hair without using your fingertips.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Take my picture.
Oh my God. See, this guy taking the photo, the blonde, I actually thought that might have been, I forget his name, but he was in Scary Movie as the blonde jock, small penis.
In
But
Scary Movie?
because I looked him up. And
I don't even know who you're talking about. What blonde guy?
do you remember Scary Movie?
Yes.
Buffy's boyfriend, the one imitating Ryan Phillippe.
Buffy's boyfriend. I don't know. But this is a Colton Ford song.
Yeah, it wasn't this song that Nickname was playing. It was earlier on. It was the more rougher song. Yeah, this
Well,
song's
who's
quite
singing?
Crappy.
Who's singing this?
This is.
Is there
Colton.
somebody on stage?
This is just playing.
Oh. Because I could have sworn that I heard him say something to the crowd at one point.
Yeah, it's a very Eurovision song.
It's just, I mean, like, it's just, you know.
Did you watch that music documentary I was telling you about, where they looked at auto-tune and stuff like that?
No, because I told you I watched the first part, and I had Boys to Men stuck in my head for fucking 5 days.
Yeah, but had you watched more? They talk about different parts of the industry. One episode they looked at Ace of Base and Swedish songwriting and music industry.
Okay, now I have to go back.
Yeah, so I think that might be the third episode, because the fourth one I think is about country and pop combined.
Oh.
So the first episode is Boys to Men. The second one is about the history of auto-tune, and that was quite interesting for me. So I thought this thing was a bit traumatic. Like, I thought it was well done.
Have you ever been to a gay club where people were doing things on the dance floor?
What kind of things?
Dirty touching.
Not that I know of. I once went to a pub night that was a enclosed dance party where people were having sex on the bar.
Oh. God.
Well, over doggy, not actually on the bar, but leaning on the bar.
Oh, well, that makes it okay.
Yeah.
Right. Jesus Christ.
It's all a rich tapestry of living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's...
I wasn't the
I'll
one
pass
doing
on
it.
that.
Although I no,
Yeah,
actually.
you always say... You always tell these stories where there's such debaucherous things going on, but then you always have to, accent it with, I was not a participant.
I was once, because in one of the bars that I used to go, they used to have a barber's chair, and I got told off for being a bit too frisky in that with someone.
Oh.
But it was just kissing. It wasn't like, anyway.
What, were you sitting on somebody's lap?
We were, yeah.
I know you, right?
a bit
Who
of
told you off?
gyration.
The owner?
It wasn't a tell-off. It was more of a, could you sort of keep it down a bit? It was the owner, but... And then we sort of coyly went, oh, sorry, a little bit.
Yes, and then you retired to the back alley.
Yes. We pressed our hands against an opaque window where people could see anyway.
Mm-hmm. This guy could not walk in heels at all.
No.
What gym do you go to?
And I just,
Well, no, I mean, he
I just
couldn't.
found this whole sequence pathetic. Like,
I know it is. No, but he fell down and got hurt
yeah.
a bunch of times because he was having so much difficulty walking in heels.
Now have sex with me.
Yes, I'm attractive. Now fuck me. Oh my god. Wait, I don't know what it is, but every time... Lately, every time we've been recording... I must be getting delirious now, but every time we've been recording, I keep thinking about that Jeannie Garofalo stand-up special. And... But do you remember the bit? I think it was that special. But do you remember the bit when she was talking about the drunk couple, stumbling out of the bar in the middle of the night when it's snowing, and they had the snowball fight?
Whimsical.
Look how whimsical I am. Fuck me. I'm easygoing.
Yes.
I'm whimsical. Oh god.
It's always the case, like, you can tell when you're watching a bad movie because you start thinking about other better movies.
Yes. Well, all roads lead to Jeannie Garofalo, Jonathan Scheck, Madonna, or Carrie. If I'd came onto that guy dressed as the devil and he didn't want to get down, you know what I would say to him? I would say, why don't you go fuck a sheep or your sister or yourself?
Because he would have a red neck.
He would.
If it's the devil, yeah.
Yes, it's true. So it would be appropriate.
Yeah. Did you ever used to watch the show Lucifer?
I don't know what that is. Wasn't that a Netflix show?
It might be. It was a bit... I mean, there were some people who loved it. And it was okay, but it was a bit too... I'm going to use the term on the nose for me, even though it might not apply. Where it's basically a cop crime show, but comedic, where the devil helps this detective find murderers.
I don't like this guy.
I'm not selling it well.
I don't like this guy on the motorcycle. There's just something about him that seems disingenuous.
Brian. Jake, should I say. The actor is Brian Kirkwood. I mean, the murder of the two gay guys at the beginning, how long ago was that from the party?
It was the night before.
Because I would feel that the police crime scene tape would still be up. And the whole area would have been a no-go zone.
Yeah, it was the night before.
Yeah.
It would have made sense if it was like this happened on Halloween last year, which is what a lot of Halloween movies do.
Yeah.
Like the one we did last week.
Yes. That didn't really mention Halloween.
No, not really.
That was a creepy noise. Because I don't think glass eyes are made out of glass.
So on the back, there's nerves that are connected. And the nerves everything's really okay.
You know, I actually knew someone who'd lost an eye. And it's from, like, not a phobia, but like a worry of mine. He was playing darts, and one of the darts slipped backwards and hit him in the eye, and that's how he lost his eye.
Oh my god.
And I was like, when I was told, I was like, oh my god, that actually happened to someone? That's like an urban legend.
Yeah.
Did he bite an apple with a razor blade in it or something?
Yeah, people never lose eyeballs. That never happens.
Well, not with a dart. Actually, I had an auntie that she described losing her eye. She lost her eye. But she was telling it to my sister that, like, she just kept rubbing it. It was really itchy and it just came out.
What?
That it might have been really dried out or something. It ended up popping out.
That happened tonight?
Look,
Well, not the... It was the movie that Johnny Knoxville did before the latest Jackass movie. That One in the Snow, whatever the fuck it was called. It was a ski movie or something.
Yeah.
He said that he had... I don't remember.
What was that?
No, his eyeball fell out.
Oh.
And he like was talking about like he literally put it back in himself or something.
Yeah, because it's connected. I mean, if you ask Christian Bale, that's the best way to get to the brain.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Do you have any like urban legends up Philadelphia way?
Not that I can think of.
I always remember my sister scaring me, like saying how, at the and I think that this actually was made into a movie, but I need to look it up. That people would sort of attach razor blades to water slides, so that when you went down, it would slash your back open.
I never heard that. No, I never heard that. But I remember going to a theater with someone. This is when I was 19. Somebody who was not from the city, and we found some seats, and he pulled the cushion down, and before he sat, he ran his hand along it, and I was like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, you never know if somebody's going to stick a needle in there.
Oh, yes.
I was like, what? Do people do that?
Well, something that became all the rage in Australia is, but I don't know what type of needle you're talking about. Someone was sabotaging the strawberry industry by poking needles into the strawberries, like sewing needles.
Oh, no.
And so, like, a lot of them had to be just thrown out without being sold. And I think it was someone working in a factory that was doing it.
Some disgruntled employee.
Yeah.
We're about to have some straight man-on-man action here.
Let's get into it. It's a weird third act for me. It sort of stops the movie. And like to be having sex after getting attacked and having your eye scratched with a knife.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, can't we do this another time?
Yeah.
See, now that could have been something that they could have explored to give the character a smidge more depth.
Yeah. It really just seems like a novelty.
I mean, he sees the guy initially in the tattoo parlor and he's drawn to him. And he's getting this tattoo to cover up someone's name. And all we get is he was an asshole.
Yeah. He's like, go around wearing devil horns.
Yeah. Had a big sigh. And wouldn't fuck drag queens. But, fucking, yeah, I mean, like, the screenwriter really didn't care about fleshing out anybody. Or it was just about, because I think it was, he was under the impression that this was all that these kinds of movies were. And granted, the not so great ones are.
Yeah.
But if you were trying to make something different, this was not the way to go about it.
But I also feel that he might have believed that the gay community was starving for a movie. But it doesn't, just because there hasn't been a gay horror movie doesn't mean that you're going to eat it just because someone puts out something crap. It needs to be good.
And yeah, well, ideally.
Whoa, okay, just turn around.
I'll turn around.
Don't.
What does he have? I don't remember. But he's hiding. Isn't this the crime photos? Or some shit like that?
No, he's got the handcuffs.
So that's why he made him turn around?
Yeah.
So he couldn't see the handcuffs that he was going to use later? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
That's what you're trying to sell me. All right.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've only got like another 15 minutes. So that's you'll be out of your misery soon. Fortunately, it's a short movie. Like, they don't have that 10-minute credit sequence like other movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel that had the screenwriter actually thought of giving the villain a story and then just disregarded it, that would have made for a better... Like, instead of just having a no motive... Because then I think you can tell when someone knows the backstory, even though they don't tell you. If you can trust your screenwriter to... I think you even said this, that Eli Roth gave that advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I forget, wait, what was the exact wording? It was like, for the screenwriter...
the audience doesn't need to know everything, but they need to...
But they need to know that you know.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like the screenwriter went in without a motive. And
yes,
we know
he didn't know anything. Well, I don't know if there was a version of the script or if it was shot. But there was one incarnation of the movie where the killer spoke.
Oh, okay.
And then they thought, it's better to make him mute because that makes him more intimidating.
Yeah. What did he say?
I don't fucking know.
Hey, girl, hey.
Oh, God, I hope not.
What do gay horses eat?
That is so old.
Dick.
Well, both of them are. I heard it from TJ Miller.
Okay.
because at one of his not personally, he did it during one of his stand-up routines, and he said it, and he asked the question rather, and then everybody went hey, and he went horse dick.
It does take a while.
There should not be a sequence like this where nothing is said for this fucking long.
And like I said, it seems to take place in a weird time of the movie.
Oh, you know what?
There is no crescendo ending. I'd kind of feel that the attack at the nightclub would have been the ending, and then that's where they killed.
It should have been, and it might have been had they had more money, because I think that would have been more expensive to have like a big, climactic showdown with the killer at the club where like people are freeing and panic. But no, what I was going to say was, I forgot to mention that during that documentary that I was watching about the horror cult films, they talked about the human centipede.
Oh, okay.
And they had... I think it's more famous for being infamous. One of those things. Yeah. I don't know if there's people who actually really like it.
Yeah. Probably have less fans and more people who are proud of themselves for watching. People who see it out of curiosity, that kind of thing.
But they had an interview with one of the lead actresses, and she said she was presented with, when she thought she was being presented with a script, she was actually presented with a booklet. That's what she called it, a booklet. And it was just the entire movie paraphrased, and he expected them all to just make it up. He didn't write any dialogue at all.
So like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, with Curb Your Enthusiasm, they work it out and they rehearse it over and over again. So basically there is a script.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not written. They have lines that they rehearse to see what works and what doesn't. And he said, they had an interview with the director too. He said that he spoke with a doctor.
That was a lie.
And the doctor said that you could keep someone in such a state alive for quite a while if you keep them hydrated and inject them with vitamins.
Yeah.
I'm calling shenanigans on that.
Well, like I said to you in a recording earlier, someone will die after 3 days of not drinking water, but I think it takes 3 weeks of not eating to die.
Well, they're eating.
So really, you could survive 3 weeks on eating shit because just out of that's how long it takes the body to.
But
die.
that's not edible. That's not food. That's bacteria.
It's inedible, but it's not uneatable.
But it's not nutrition.
No.
For nutrition.
So that's what I'm saying is that they're not living off it. They're dying, but that's what they're consuming. So it's not a case of. So let's say I sewed your face onto someone's ass. You could live for the next 3 weeks and then die, despite the fact that you're eating their shit.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It's the rule of 3. Have you not heard of it?
Well, one thing that the girl did say was that the actors who were part of the human centipede, after a shoot, they were each given
Breath
very
mints?
extensive massages
Oh, that's nice.
until they fell asleep. So she said they were very well taken care of.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they weren't bound together for too long. Like, I mean, as clean as you start, I'm sure a musk would start to
Yes,
develop.
of course it would. Especially under the lights. Are you crazy?
And with that movie catering, they'll probably like having curry.
Well, depend. I don't remember exactly where it was shot. It was supposed to be. It was set in Germany, but it wasn't in Germany. I don't remember where it was.
What nationality is the director?
German.
Oh, is he? Okay. I wanted to actually see his new movie, but I don't think it's getting a distribution because it's a bit rude.
Well, he said he's also working on a movie called The Human Caterpillar.
Oh, the hungry caterpillar. Can't he have an original thought? Although I was saying to someone, I wasn't interested to watch the movie, but I did like where he was inspired from, and that was as a way of punishing pedophiles. So I thought that was...
During a sequence that is supposed to be edge of your seat suspenseful, I couldn't give a shit. I feel like Elaine when she was
Watching The
forced to
English
watch
Patient.
The English Patient.
I hate it!
Quit telling your stupid story about the stupid desert and just die already.
She was the American inpatient.
You know, sex in a tub, that doesn't work.
But you're into it.
It's true. No, I didn't say sex.
Oh,
okay?
you just
I just said rubbing the buttholes together.
that would be
harmoniously.
hard, especially in a tub. Like, because you need space to spread the legs.
Well, I represent the Lollipop Guild, so I'm very compact.
I mean, and it really would depend on where your asshole is.
You know what my ex actually called me with regard to my stature, not other things. He referred to me as Elfin.
Oh, really?
And he was only like 5'8".
Yeah. How tall are you? 5'4".
Like 5'3", 5'4", something like that.
Well, you're taller than what's his face? Leslie Jordan. I think he's 4'9".
What the hell is going on? Hey, call an ambulance, all right? Hurry now.
Oh, Beverly Leslie.
Yes. So, you would have been good for drag. You got
No.
the petite features for drag.
No, I don't like that.
Sorry.
Although I've started noticing, I reckon you said it, that if someone smokes, they need to say they're giving it up or that it's bad for you.
What the fuck are you talking about now? You're always saying I said things that I never said.
I thought that was you. I reckon it was you. I still reckon it's you.
What the fuck did I say?
That if someone is smoking on screen, they need to sort of say that cigarettes are bad for you.
No, I never said that.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm I'm attributing memories to you.
I said that's some sort of cinematic trope where if there's a character on screen who is smoking, that it is imperative that they have some sort of dialogue in which they describe the dangers
Dangers of smoking.
of smoking. No, I never said that. No. Mm-mm.
Alrighty.
I remember saying that smoking these days gets you an R rating. I don't know why. Well, I have my finger under my chin. That's why my R came out like that. But it gets you an R rating. Yeah. Oh god, this is such a fucking awful song. It makes me want to fucking beat my head against the desk.
It, again, sort of makes assumptions about horror fans.
What, the song?
Yeah. That all horror fans are into death metal, and this isn't even good death metal, really.
No, this is not death metal at all, honey.
This is almost
this is stupid, like
version of death metal.
This is pop punk. That's what this is.
Yeah.
And okay, this is a movie about gay men in West Hollywood. Why would they be listening to this shit? There should be like a fucking RuPaul track over the end credits.
Yeah, can't get you out of my head. Which
well, that it would have been
a funny accompaniment to have to like an impaling.
Don't besmirch Kylie with this nonsense.
Well, they could have had a red-blooded woman.
Red-blooded woman, that might have worked. But that was later.
Ah, okay.
Do you think they could have afforded a Kylie track?
Well, she's not that well known in America.
No. Well,
they had a Kylie song on a SNL sketch with Alec Baldwin. But
now you made me forget what I was going to say. Oh, fucking... No, there was a time when Kylie Jenner was trying to trademark the name Kylie because she wanted to be the only Kylie. And everybody was like, Kylie Minogue was before you, bitch.
And I think she sued, or her company sued. Kylie Minogue's company. Sued Kylie Jenner.
Jump the fuck back. Now, what is this garbage that we're listening to?
Yeah.
This movie has the worst soundtrack, the worst acting, the worst writing. I would say the worst story, but there is no story.
The worst audience.
Well,
This almost seems like a knockoff of like Simon and Garfunkel. Like,
I can hear the
60s
tambourine.
style. Yeah.
You're not supposed to hear a tambourine this clearly.
No, not unless you're a Stevie Nicks.
No, exactly. Fucking... but I don't think that this had anywhere near the impact that they were hoping it would. Because this movie is only remembered by a very small audience. It's not streaming anywhere except for maybe YouTube. You said I think it is. You could buy or rent it on YouTube, but the DVD's out of print. It's not on Blu-ray.
I
Most
only
people
ever
never
remember
heard
the
of
DVD
it.
cover. That's the only thing. Like, whenever you would mention it, I'd look it up and go, "Oh, I remember that cover." That's the only thing that because I never saw it, and I don't think it's looked that interesting.
No, and it came out. I remember when I was with the fucking my
Dreadhead?
ex. Yeah. And during like the first year we were together, I kept talking about it and saying like, oh, fucking such and such posted information about Hellbent and it's going to premiere here or the DVD's coming out here. And then it finally came out and I watched it and I was like, oh. And then I think he forgot about it because I don't even think I told him that I'd seen it. Or no, I did tell him that I'd seen it. And I just was like, yeah, no. And then like some months later, he was like, how come you never showed me Hellbent? And I was like, because it wasn't good. And then we never spoke of it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I pretty much forgot about it too. But I was
What
listening
made you remember
to.
it? Did you you were just looking up Halloween set movies?
I was looking up Halloween movies, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, that's what brought it back. But I was listening to some podcasts, and there are very few that actually reviewed this. By the way, FYI, even fucking I don't think horror queers or queer horror, whatever the fuck that podcast is. I don't
is
even
that the
think they
Canadian
reviewed.
one?
No, it's from I think it's by Bloody Disgusting or something.
Yeah. I'll have to send you. There's a Canadian one called Queer Horrors. If you want me to send you the link to it.
Well, that's probably it. Queer horrors.
But what were they saying?
Oh, they were saying. Well, yeah, the one that I was listening to, it was saying how that. What was it? I think it was just after it was the 15th anniversary or something. So it was like from 2018 or something.
Yeah.
And they were like fucking talking about the impact that it made and how it changed horror in the years that followed.
Ways for both answers.
I mean, like it was like saying they were saying all this shit that it did not do, and every point that they made, I was shaking my head. No.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It did not. It did not do that. No, that's not true. No.
I mean, if that were really the case, if you were to look up the IMDb page, it would have so many references. You know, it would let you know how many other directors commented on this movie.
Yeah.
You know, because they would be saying, oh, I only got into the industry because of Hellbent. That really paved the way. It's like, nobody has ever said that.
And horror has a pretty big gay fan base.
Yeah.
And not just movies.
But
there are a lot of
with the gay community, we like to discover our idols type of thing. And they don't need to be gay, you know. It's like Nomi Malone. We've adopted her. She wasn't a gay character.
No, but she was an inspiration.
Yes.
Because she could do nails.
Yeah. She would eat chips.
She could eat chips.
Really relatable.
Yeah. And she could have crazy, unrealistic sex in a pool.
That's me at my swimming lessons.
Yeah, flopping like a fish on the surface.
Like as if I'm panting for air.
Oh God, that really has to be one of the most unsexy sexings.
Yeah, and the music that went with it was like, oh my God.
It was all futuristic.
No, I thought it was like some, not saxophone, but it was almost like a saxophone on the synthesizer.
Maybe. I don't fucking know. This is not how I wanted to spend Halloween.
We should have done Showgirls for Halloween, really. I'm saying that now. Next year we could do it.
Oh, God. No, because then people would think that I'm fucking doing a Scream 2 thing.
And what's the Scream 2 thing?
When Ghostface calls Randy and he says, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And he says, "Showgirls." Absolutely frightening. Right. Oh, you're so funny. And Kevin Williamson, a gay man, wrote that. He should be ashamed.
Oh. Yeah, but Jamie Kennedy was straight.
Yeah, but I don't think Jamie Kennedy wrote that line.
No, but you're writing lines for a character. You have to get into their mindset. And it was a joke.
A not funny one. A stupid one. Yeah. And a disrespectful one. Don't you dare disrespect.
Yeah, it's not paying any homage to the great queen of Elizabeth
Berkley. Okay. All right, we got to wrap this up because I have some candy to give out.
Yes.
And some strippers.
Give some treats
coming over. Yeah. Well, the candy's for the kids. The treats are for the strippers.
Gonna have that Snickers with the dick vein.
Anyway.
Any final thoughts?
No.
Okay. Well, for mine is Monica Seles is an anagram of camel noises.
I don't know what that means.
All right. Have a lovely Halloween, and we'll catch you in November.
That's true. So I want to say thank you to everybody for listening, and thank you to Tony for joining me on my favorite holiday with this terrible movie. So yes. Until next time, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams.